All right, let's get into it. Twitch is worse than you thought. Tell me why Twitch is worse than I thought, please.
Twitch is taking over the world, gaining more than triple Reddit's monthly user base and generating over $1.5 billion a year, with Twitch making the world ever more like The Truman Show, where we watch, comment, and become attached to the lives of strangers around the world, spawning a whole new era of parasocial relationships, simping, swatting, and loneliness, with all of this being for the profit of Mr. Bezos. But Twitch isn't like other social media sites, because unlike other big tech startups, Twitch wasn't created by some yuppie entrepreneurs or corporate enterprise. Instead, Twitch started as an artistic experiment by a 23-year-old called Justin Can, who is considered to be
this guy's a freaking pimp, dude. This guy Justin Can is a savage. I don't know if you guys have seen that guy, but
is following in the footsteps of Andy Warhol. Quite a contrast to the corporate Twitch we see today. So then how did Twitch go from a 23-year-old's artistic experiment to becoming one of the world's biggest websites, making billions in revenue, creating global news events, simping, and shaping our entire society and culture in just the span of a few years?
Backstory, ladies and gentlemen.
It began in 2007
this is
when
good.
Justin Can would release his Justin TV project. Justin TV was an experimental live streaming project, broadcasted on the newly founded website of the same name, where Justin would stream his daily life and all the things he did, pioneering a completely new mode of entertainment, where Justin would attach a camera to his hat and broadcast live 24/7. This literally included sleeping, shopping, all the mundanities of life.
Bro, the weird thing is y'all still want this shit though. Like what he's doing is still iconic. Nobody's really doing that. 24 hours a day, watching people sleep. Everybody still wants that shit. Like every time I do a subathon, y'all are like, yeah, run it, do that. Like, goddamn, like, ain't no way.
Although bathroom breaks were omitted. You see, Justin even publicized his phone number with viewers calling into the show. However, of course, by doing this, Justin would become one of the first victims of swatting, a practice where people call in phony tips to the police, which results in a streamer getting raided. But for Justin, this didn't matter, because Justin TV was becoming a viral hit. People loved how raw and human the experience was. The live, unedited, almost amateur nature of the show never failed to entertain as it gave a true window into the life of one man. An experience truly lacking in the world of polished and glossy reality TV shows. And so this innovative website quickly gained huge amounts of publicity, attracting attention from the internet and mainstream media alike. But praise—
What's crazy is the first thing I thought when they were like, yo, 24 hours, first thing I thought was like, no way this guy did not get swatted. Like, ain't no way.
Also came from very unlikely places. Justin TV was actually hailed as following on from Andy Warhol's numerous projects depicting the mundane. People saw Justin TV as a work of art, where viewers could find a certain beauty and engagement in the everyday life of Justin. And it was this explosion in popularity that enabled Justin and his friends to expand the website. This meant the site could include lots of different channels and categories covering a wide variety of content, although gaming content was quickly proven as the popular cornerstone of the site. This new site was basically the beta version of Twitch.
Yo, was that
Although,
BO1?
having said this, it's very unlikely anyone watching at the time, or even Justin and the founders, had any idea of the potential of Justin TV. Now in 2007, Justin TV was remarkable for a lot of reasons, because unlike many of its other internet competitors, Justin TV seemed to be undamaged by the 2008 financial crash. It also
I feel like we got to skip through the backstory a little bit.
caused immense dread for Justin and his co-founders. This had never been a problem before and everything seemed to be going great, with the company raising over $7 million in investments before 2010. But now with their continued growth, their high running costs were now outpacing their income, putting the company into dire straits, and investors were ready to pull out. And so in response to this challenge, Justin and his team laid out a solid goal for the company. They would need to clear $1 million in revenue per month. This number would be enough to cover their costs and attract the eyes of investors. Justin was so desperate that he promised the company a holiday to Hawaii if they could achieve this goal. But this wasn't an easy goal. Almost no websites were creating $1 million in revenue per month. This was a staggering challenge. How could Justin and his team achieve this? Well, the fastest and easiest option were ads. And so Justin TV began to be spammed with ads, to the literal point where there were even adverts on their 404 page. However, at the time, this was the only way they could keep their investments. Without this, the company would be bankrupt. And unfortunately for Jason and his team, the problems wouldn't stop there. You see, while Justin TV's origins were creative and artistic, the business foundations were very weak, which would become very apparent in 2010. The main issue being international—
Chat, I'm trying to find out where this guy relates it to the Simpsons shit. I don't know if I could say that, but yeah, right here, chat. This is where we gotta get to. Should we just skip this? Because I don't know if I give a fuck about the decline. Amazon, not Google, is buying Twitch for $970 million.
Moderation team is a problem in its own right. This has also served to highlight another major issue that Twitch is now dealing with. Okay, so we've established that since Amazon's takeover, Twitch has become a very different place. But the censorship didn't just stop at banning words. The model of power mod censorship was then trickling down into Twitch's streams themselves, developing this ridiculous power imbalance between moderators and people in the chat. A streamer's mods have the power to ban, unban, and censor opinions they don't like, which leads to echo chambers of the highest orders. All while Twitch's stream culture promotes narcissism-prone young influencers to gain instant notoriety by generating enough controversy, and then to censor any of the backlash that comes with this through moderators' censorship. And this is especially true for girl streamers whose chats are full of neckbeards and simps. Of course, these specific chats require high amounts of moderation to filter out harassing comments and the like, but the mods of these channels often see themselves as the protector of the stream. These Twitch power mods are chosen for their devotion to being a white knight and their dedication to wasting their lives removing thirsty comments, which is why it's really no wonder that Twitch mods often end up being power abusing creeps in their own right. In fact, I even made a whole video.
Poggers, dude, chat. This is fucking Twitch right here, bro. He's dedicated, son. Chat, I need y'all to tell me this guy is not dedicated. Look at him. Anime pants with food all over the desk, bro. He might actually be the best mod of all time, bro. You know he's not leaving the stream, staying there, editing commands, all that. That's what you need right there.
Creeps in their own right. In fact, I even made a whole video dedicated to discussing the sorts of people who become moderators in the first place. In the video I boiled down, the moderators tend to be atomized, repressed, lonely losers who have no meaning, purpose, or connection in their lives, taking out their oppression by censoring information they don't like, and drooling on the e-feet of bimbo Twitch streamers, milking Twitch's simpy cash cow. And I haven't even mentioned Twitch's admins themselves, who rule the site with an iron fist. The admins at Twitch are quick to ban any small channel that strays even an inch from the terms of service, although they don't even bother to adhere to their own rules. They just make it up as it goes along. All the while they protect the most popular streamers who have free reign to do as they please, so long as Twitch can still take their giant cut. I mean, Twitch is absolutely shameless with their committal to these double standards, which ties directly into their recent move towards so-called hot tub streams. Now, as I mentioned before,
if you did the hot tub shit before it was the hot tub shit, like just like wearing a bikini in the pool and shit, you'd actually probably get banned. And then all of a sudden Twitch was like, yo, but we're about to make another billion in a year, son. Like just off these hot tubs. This is what people want. This is what they're paying. These shorties have 20,000 subs. We're taking half. Like, what are you talking about? I'm taking half. I'm not just banning them and forgetting about the money. I'm taking the bill and running, bro. I don't care. Let them have the bikinis on stream. I don't care no more. Like if I was up there at the Twitch head, bro, I'd be doing the same shit. It makes sense.
But under the control of Amazon, Twitch resorted to desperate measures, with Amazon deciding that the best way for Twitch to make money was not just to allow, but to actively promote softcore porn on their platform. Despite Twitch's terms of service prohibiting adult content, the site became proliferated with so-called hot tub streams, to such a degree that Twitch later added a separate category just for this topic. And while this obviously wasn't in keeping with the company's founding principles, it didn't stop Amazon from embracing the trend, milking as much cash as they possibly could from simps and neckbeards, with Amazon profiting—
Bro, tell me this shit is not Chatterbait. It is dead ass Chatterbait. Like I've never been on Chatterbait, but I think I know what the fuck it is. Chat and masturbate. That's literally what Twitch has become. Hey, how's it going? Fun, you know what I'm saying? One dick on the keyboard, other dick on the hand.
From the growing class of desperate lonely losers, whose only way of addressing their pain of isolation is to spunk their grubby cash onto a virtual ego. And while these streams were hugely popular and led to lots of donations and revenue for the platform, it also angered the normal people on Twitch and it became a source of mockery, leading at the time to the relatively obscure word simping to become a mainstay of public discourse. However, this ridicule was too much for Amazon to handle.
Wait, it's all coming together now. How the fuck they about to allow hot tub streams, change the policy, and then all of a sudden we can't say the I word and the S word and the other words that pretty much just say that these dudes get no pussy. Like that's all they mean. That's all words mean. And we can't say it to them because that's where Twitch's money's coming from. Oh my God, it's all making sense now.
Leading to the insane—
What's the I word? Here, I'll type it. Well, no, I can't even type it. Just, yeah, y'all say, yeah.
idiotic—
It pretty much means involuntary celibate. Pretty much means even if he wanted to try, he can't get no pussy.
Decision to ban the word entirely. But then again, I guess it's not really a surprise considering the people who control the flow of information in terms of service are busy having deargasms. And in fact, Twitch banning all words and criticism is a common occurrence. The ban hammer strikes often and with no regard for the terms of service or the livelihoods of the creators. And what's even worse is that whilst the small creators struggle to gain popularity and avoid being banned for the smallest of infractions, the larger streamers that bring in the most revenue for Twitch enjoy almost limitless protection. Because this is the real way that Twitch makes money. And this gets sinister not just for the fact that it erodes free speech on the internet, but also because of the way that Twitch is hiding sexual assault and harassment allegations against much of Twitch's biggest partners, all in the name of protecting profits. The worst offenders in these allegations were given 3-day bans at most, and a tiny little slap on the wrist for such egregious allegations. Of course, all these problems wouldn't have happened in the first place if the site had stayed true to the founding principles that Justin had always championed. It was the greed of Amazon looking to make a quick buck of lonely, horny teenagers that led Twitch down this dark path.
Bro, yeah, bro. Look at Jeff. He's laughing at y'all motherfuckers just like that. He's like, damn. Y'all didn't even notice that we allowed hot tub streams and then banned words that are pretty much all of our viewers on Twitch and pretty much making us all this money. And he laughs like this in our face, chat. In our face. And we just gonna allow that shit? Bring back Justin for real, son. Fuck.
But then this begs the
number 4, parasocial relationships.
Important question. Why are so many people throwing their cash on these parasocial relationships in the first place? How is Amazon able to make Twitch a multi-billion-dollar company just from people donating to these random streamers? And why are millions of young people wasting their lives watching people talk to a camera for several hours a day? Is it simply just horny teenagers, or is there something else to this? Well, it's no secret that our neoliberal dystopia indoctrinates young people to shun their own authenticity, community, and family for the replacement of virtual online relationships to provide them an empty sense of community. We live in a society that has normalized and accelerated the evisceration of the family unit. The building blocks of society are crumbling into dust. In the words of Theodore Dalrymple, the vacuity of modern life in the West, its lack of transcendence, lived as it is, increasingly without religious or political belief, without a worthwhile creative culture, often without deep personal attachments, and without even a struggle for survival. Taking us into a God-shaped hole, which is rushing the search for sensual pleasure, which however, no more than distracts. And the sensual pleasure he talks about is now seen in the form of egos, fake parasocial relationships, and watching a drip of meaningless, unfulfilling content that leaves you open-mouthed, slouched on your bed, and tranquilized into a passive, obedient numbness. As Guy Debord said, quote, "In societies where modern conditions of production prevail, all of life presents itself as an immense accumulation of spectacles. Everything that was directly lived has moved away into representation."
Bro, they're pretty much saying they're making you bots. They're making y'all sit there, type, talk to fucking random ass dudes on the internet like such. Y'all are just sitting there hunched over, bad posture, fucking clicking on your shit. This is literally why I said sometimes I be having like my own philosophical ways. I feel like I don't even want to stream because I know I'm doing y'all harm. And this is what I feel like I'm doing. Damn, chat. So do I just fucking quit? Is that what I gotta do?
Twitch is at the forefront of the social phenomena, and it's become the lifeblood of Twitch's revenue model. The Amazon Twitch system works by trapping vulnerable people and providing a temporary solution to a permanent problem. If you can't get human contact from your real life, Twitch gives you this through a rough facsimile, and this alternative seems to fill a hole, making it very hard for the victims of our loneliness epidemic to quit. And the really sad fact is that for these sad individuals to interact with their favorite popular streamers—
where is my tribute? God damn it! Where do I find these guys? I actually think I gotta get in a hot tub and fucking bring hella bitches with me. That's the only way. And I don't even think it'll still work. I actually don't even think it'll work still. Cause like dudes just trying to get attention and shit. 5K really dono, bro? 5K. Homie said, where is my tribute? God damn it, draw me. 5,000.
That for these sad individuals to interact with their favorite popular streamers is through their wallets.
10,000!
Competing with their fellow loners
what? Nah, a mil? What even is that? I don't even know what the fuck currency that is. That's euros, no? I don't know what the currency translation is, but is that $1 billion? That has to be fake.
Attention. I mean, it's not like most streamers actually care about their fans in any meaningful way either, which is why during the peak of our loneliness in 2020, Twitch's viewership was up 67% and has now generated 140 million active monthly users. And the sad fact is there's no incentive for these people to break the loop, and it's likely that many won't, ever. They'll never want to give up their parasocial relationships, always stuck in this fake self-gratification world. And Twitch doesn't want them to break this loop. Twitch doesn't want you to be connected with your family and neighbors.
Bro, chat, in a way, do you guys think that like watching lifestyle YouTubers and shit are like is like the same thing as like a parasocial relationship or no? Probably not, because you can't like communicate with them, yeah? Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Relationships, because they profit when you're lonely and miserable. This is their business model after all, with Twitch taking a cut of every desperate subscription or simpy donation. And this situation isn't healthy for the streamers either.
That's the thing, the chat, they're taking a cut of everything. How do y'all not know this shit? Everything. Twitch is taking a cut, son. Amaranth, she could be on that hot tub every day, 18 hours a day, which she is. Guess what? Twitch is still taking a cut.
Although ostensibly they're benefiting from these parasocial relationships, the unhealthy dynamic this creates makes these popular streamers live in this sort of weird Truman Show lifestyle. The whole world knowing one's innermost life with no reciprocity whatsoever can make havoc on the mental health of streamers, by either turning them into egotistical narcissistic maniacs or depressed, anxious, emotional crybabies, which is why so many popular streamers seem to fall from grace in such a catastrophic fashion. And this might be one of the worst things about Twitch, directly profiting and contributing to the loneliness of an entire generation, just adding more and more billions to Bezos' empire. And the thing is, this is leading to even worse.
All while Jeff Bezos is on a yacht with 30 bitches dogging with billions in the bank.
Consequences, because when people get so attached to these parasocial relationships, this does foster a lot of emotions. And sometimes there's rare breeds of spurg lords who begin to feel anger, annoyance, and despair at the fact that their relationships are just hollowed out digital distractions. And when they feel this pain, they want to
run that shit back. He is spitting. This guy's crazy.
Sometimes there's rare breeds of spurg lords who begin to feel anger, annoyance, and despair at the fact that their relationships are just hollowed out digital distractions. And when they feel this
Their relationships are just hollowed out distractions. Oh my God, I'm speechless.
They want to get their vengeance. They want to attack the streamer that they feel is the cause of their problems. Which is leading to one of the biggest problems on Twitch.
Is that real?
Swatting.
Oh, damn. That's number 5. This is gonna get intense, chat.
Swatting is when someone finds a streamer's address and fakes a police call, telling the police that this streamer is a serious danger, also that the police broke into the streamer's house to arrest them. Probably the most famous example of this, however, is what happened to Ice Poseidon, the controversial streamer who seemed to be this swatting magnet. Now, he was already on Twitch's radar because of his unmoderated chats and the fact that his streams would often break Twitch's terms of service. But because of his popularity and the revenue and publicity he created for Twitch, this negative attention was often ignored. He was never banned, he was always just given a tiny little slap on the wrist. Although this all came to a head in 2017, when Ice was traveling to a convention by plane. He would broadcast all of the trip to the convention, as he did with most of his waking moments. However, Ice has always encouraged his viewers to swat him, and this time he wasn't doing this at his
Did he just say Ice always encouraged his viewers to swat him? No way that's what just happened.
Traveling to a convention by plane. He would broadcast all of the trip to the convention, as he did with most of his waking moments. However, Ice has always encouraged his viewers to swat him, and this time he wasn't doing this at his house. He was revealing the gate number as well as the airport he was flying from. This meant that viewers could easily know what plane he would be on, and so halfway through his flight, his plane was diverted and forced to land because one of his viewers had called in a bomb threat, telling the police that Ice planned to hijack the plane. So he was quickly escorted off for questioning. But this was a crazy incident that hit the mainstream news and made Ice Poseidon infamous.
I'd never heard about this.
Twitch had no choice but to ban him from the platform for his toxicity and constant swatting incidents. However, Twitch's giant incentive for streamers to create controversy at all costs, and the fact that most streamers won't ever face criticism due to their mods, makes this sort of thing a very common occurrence on Twitch. I mean, Ice Poseidon, for example, would always put swatters on a pedestal, encouraging swatters for views, saying things like, quote, "What can you possibly do to create a challenge for these loser swatters?" He did this because these streams would go viral. Clips of his streams would gain hundreds of thousands of views.
Bro, you're definitely popping off if you go viral or if you get swatted, bro.
Encouraging swatters all across the platform to commit these harmful crimes. Sending a message for swatters across the platform to keep wasting police time and putting the lives of creators at risk. But swatters aren't the only ones playing with people's personal data, because Twitch is also a criminally unsecure platform. Twitch employees have always warned about the miserable security and the very big potential for Twitch to be breached. But of course, this advice always fell on deaf ears. Twitch management has always been horrific even since the Justin TV days. But of course, this would inevitably lead to what happened in October 2021, when a massive 125GB data breach revealed truckloads of information about Twitch's partners and even their payouts from the platform. And whilst this was horrific for Twitch users, and being a needed light on how weak Twitch's management and security is, This breach did also reveal some kind of fascinating insights. It showed that some of the highest paid Twitch streamers, people like Hassan Piker, a famous internet commie, gained almost $1.5 million from Twitch every year. And this is just from Twitch revenue alone. All for him promoting socialism and wanting to eat the rich, all while making millions from these people who have no connection in their real world lives. But that's a topic for a different video. But what's more important was that this leak was done by one single hacker, a lone agent who managed to copy the entire website without raising any alarms, unveiling the very unsteady foundations the Twitch business model was built on. But even with this in mind, Twitch will still rise. In fact, Twitch is set to grow exponentially in the coming years.
Bro, they
with the
gonna
company
get us,
projected to
chat.
grow 25%
They
every
got
single
us, bro.
year.
They got us.
Twitch only grows when the population becomes more lonely and isolated, with shocking data revealing that about 40% of Generation Z suffers from loneliness, which coincidentally
40?
is the same demographic that uses Twitch the most. And when you stop to actually realize that the top streamers make almost all of their money from donations, from people who are desperate for any sense of attention or connection, it's then not really that hard to understand how Twitch has made $2.3 billion just this year. And it also makes clear that the original creative free and authentic
$2.3 billion in 2020. And they made $2.3 billion in 2020. 18.6 billion hours with a B. Hours of content was consumed on the platform in 2020.
Just this year. And it also makes clear that the original creative free and authentic version of Justin TV is dead. That's why the original creator Justin now lives a life hidden away from the hell of global big tech, hidden from Twitch's change in direction, a direction of maximizing its profits from simps and loneliness rather than creativity, community, and ingenuity. So long as Generation Z lives their isolated, sedentary, and self-destructive lives, increasingly devoid of age-old sources of happiness like community, religion, national identity, and family, the more Twitch's toxicity will grow, resulting in Twitch going from a beacon of freedom and artistic passion to becoming a gigantic, glossy monument to insipid vacuity.
I don't know what that dude just said right there. What did he just say?
Gigantic, glossy monument to insipid vacuity.
Holy hell. Nah, that guy was on 10. He literally just pointed out everything that Twitch is right there. Hey, I'm about to quit Twitch type shit. I'm up out of here, son. He even said it in the where like people were like just like backlash, like regular streamers would backlash over the hot tub shit, but like no matter what, Twitch does not give a fuck because at the end of the day, they're getting money from that shit. But I don't know how I feel about contributing to this. You guys got to let me know. Like, how do y'all feel about that?